Govan, for the first time, we're having a virtual way of doing this. How do people know that their votes will be safe? How is this all going to work, really?
Yeah, so they're banking on the positive outcome of the DA's virtual policy conference, wherein delegates were able to vote without much difficulty, and they were able to safeguard the integrity of those votes. They're using the OPA vote system, and essentially each of the delegates, the 2,000 delegates at the conference, all of them across the country in their homes, will receive a unique SMS code which is unique to each of the candidates running for the different positions, and they'll be able to cast their votes like that. And it also allows the Democratic Alliance to keep track of how people had been voting, at which time, also to safeguard the integrity of their voting system. So it's a virtual national elective conference for the Democratic Alliance. They're sure that they'll be able to have a robust debate and not stifle any voices, despite them managing this with technical difficulties. But the DA believes that the voting system itself, although they will be voting using the Zoom platform as well, the voting system using the SMS codes is good enough for them to be able to conduct an election and have those results stand up to scrutiny.
All right, Govan, of course, we do know about John Steenhuisen and Mbali Ntuli, but we do also know that there are other positions that have been contested today. Which ones are those, and which people should we look out for?
So the other big one would be Mike Moriarty versus Hellen Zille for the position of Federal Council Chairperson. It's big because, remember, Hellen Zille got this position earlier in the year after running a campaign which was really decried by the black leaders in the Democratic Alliance, particularly the likes of John Moody, Mmusi Maimane, as well as Herman Mashaba, and to a lesser extent Abel Tau and Funzela Ngobeni in Johannesburg and Tshwane. And it's Hellen Zille's return to the party that really started the departure of some of its leaders, but also increased the level of tension between different constituencies, particularly when it comes to the place of race within the Democratic Alliance. So she'll be running up against Mike Moriarty. Interesting to note here that Moriarty getting endorsements from Phumzile van Dam and other influential leaders who are also backing Mbali Ntuli. So it does appear that the slate is emerging here. I'll run through some of the other ones. Two uncontested elections happening today within the DA. Ivan Meyer, the federal chairperson, he'll come back uncontested. He's the only name for that position. And then Dion George is running uncontested to become the federal finance chairperson. And then for deputy chairpersons, an interesting race here. We have James Masango versus Thomas Walters, both of them DA stalwarts in their own rights who have significant constituencies, not only at the conference but within the DA at large. And then deputy federal chairpersons, a longer list here. We have Anton Bredel, Annelie Lotriet, Rafil Wencheke, current spokesperson, and Jacques Small, also very well-known DA leaders. So that's the lineup for this afternoon's elections, which are expected to conclude at around 5 p.m.
Now, Govan, this is, of course, a very important conference. It will show the future of the DA, kind of. Tell us more about the factions that we see within the party and how the outcome will be very important going forward, especially since next year we are going to the polls for the municipal elections.
Yeah, so what we see happening at this national conference is a direct result of the Democratic Alliance losing that almost 3% in the 2019 elections, a review being kicked in, and then the party essentially almost conducting a 180-degree turn away from where the likes of Mmusi Maimane, John Moody wanted the party to go, towards their traditional constituency, which is really a direction led by the likes of Hellen Zille and John Steenhuisen. And I think the campaigns of Mbali Ntuli and John Steenhuisen give a glimpse into what the current factional dynamics are within the Democratic Alliance. And that's demonstrated through these letters that they had written, this last-ditch campaign to the members attending the conference, as well as those who are broadly part of the Democratic Alliance. They wrote them at the weekend, and to sum it up, Mbali Ntuli is offering to build a democratic alliance for all South Africans. And Mbali Ntuli saying that she wants the Democratic Alliance members at the conference to elect her to make the DA a governing party. But she believes that if they just vote for the stabilization and keeping the DA the way it is, which is essentially John Steenhuisen's ticket, then they would remain a minority party forever. And John Steenhuisen saying that there's nothing wrong in the DA that can't be fixed by people that are in the DA. And also he strongly campaigning on replacing state power with people's power. And that, of course, signals the direction the Democratic Alliance is currently going in, and how Mbali Ntuli and those supporting her in the other positions fare at this weekend's election for new leaders in the DA will give a signal as to whether there is still any hope for the agenda that Mmusi Maimane and John Moody and others had placed on the table when they were still in the party.
All right, thank you very much. That's our reporter, Govan Whittle.